Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with a joke that hurts just a little. Someone once said, I want a job that pays me like a CEO, treats me like a baby, and requires zero skills. And the world replied, sure, in your dreams. Because in reality, the world does not pay you for who you are. It pays you for what you can do. Yet, most people don't get this. They wake up every day thinking, if only someone paid me more, then I'd improve myself. No, it works the other way around. I remember a young guy telling me, Sir, I don't want to learn sales, it's too hard. I just want a job that pays good. I told him, you want good pay without good skills? That's like wanting six-pack abs without giving up pizza. Impossible. Think about people who became overnight successes, the ones you see trending everywhere. People say they're so lucky. Really? Look at someone like Mr. Beast. The man spent years learning video storytelling, thumbnails, attention retention. He failed more times than most people even tried. Now everyone sees the money, but they didn't see the learning. Skills first, then money follows. But here's the funny part. Most people treat learning like a punishment. They want money without mistakes, growth without discomfort, success without training. It's like wanting to win the Olympics but refusing to sweat. Let me give you something very relatable. When you first start any job, you're basically like a new phone with no apps installed. You look nice, but you're useless. You need skills, communication, negotiation, digital skills, leadership, problem solving. These are the apps that turn you into something the world pays for. But our generation, we want instant results. We want to learn a skill today and make money tomorrow. Sorry. Skills don't grow like instant noodles. They're more like slow-cooked food. The longer you invest, the richer the flavor. And I'll tell you a truth that might sting. The people who chase money too early end up with neither money nor skills. The people who chase skills first, sooner or later, the money has no choice but to follow them. So if you're listening to this right now, I want you to imagine your future self walking up to you. Does that version of you say, thank you for learning early. You made my life easier. Or does he say, bro, why were you so lazy? Because the gap between a millionaire and an average person is not intelligence. It's skill accumulation. You can lose a job, but you can't lose your skills. You can lose money, but you can't lose what you know. And that's why the smartest people on earth treat learning like a business, not a hobby. The rest of the world says, I'll learn when I have time. But the winners say, I'll make time because that's how I learn. And this is just the start. Because the real transformation happens when you understand types of skills actually multiply your income, not add to it. Let me tell you a funny truth about money. Money has trust issues. If it feels you're only chasing it, it runs away. But if it sees you improving yourself, learning new things, becoming valuable, suddenly money is like, okay, fine, I trust this person. Let me stay. Most people never understand this. They say, first pay me well, then I'll learn. That's like saying, first give me muscles, then I'll go to the gym. Life doesn't work that way. Look at the world. The people earning the most aren't superheroes. They're ordinary people who learned rare skills. Think about Keanu Reeves. People know him now as a global icon. But he spent years learning martial arts, stunt work, acting technique, discipline, timing, skills that made him stand out. He wasn't paid millions in the beginning. He learned for years and then the earnings followed. Or look at Billie Eilish. People see her awards and fame today. But years ago she was making songs in her bedroom, experimenting with her voice, learning production, training stage presence. She didn't earn first. She learned first, then she exploded. But most people want the opposite. They want the shortcut version. It's like someone wanting to become a chef, but refusing to learn how to cut onions. Or someone wanting Instagram fame without learning lighting, sound, or how not to talk like they just woke up. Let me take you to something even more relatable. Imagine a guy who says, I want to start a business because I want freedom. But he doesn't know how to talk to people. He doesn't know how to manage time. He doesn't know how to solve problems. He doesn't even know how to stay calm when the Wi-Fi disconnects. How will he handle customers? How will he negotiate? How will he lead? This is the same person who says he wants to earn big, but he doesn't want to learn small. And when he fails, he says, live. E is unfair. No, sir, life is fair. You skip the tutorials. Every time in your life you felt stuck. The real issue wasn't money. It was a missing skill. If you're broke, money won't solve it. Skills will. If you're underpaid, switching jobs won't solve it. Skills will. If you want a different life, motivation won't solve it. Skills will. Skills are like a secret superpower. You carry them everywhere. Nobody can steal them. Nobody can tax them, and nobody can stop you from upgrading them. And the earlier you start learning, the easier your life becomes later. Think of someone who learned communication young. Their entire life becomes smoother. From interviews to relationships to business deals, or someone who learned digital editing early. Suddenly they can make content, build a brand, get clients. Opportunities start falling out of the sky. Or someone who learned problem solving early. They become the person everyone relies on. Skills multiply everything. But here's the dangerous part. Most people don't even ask the right question. They join a job and ask, how much will I get? Not, what will I learn here that will make me unstoppable later? One question gives you a salary, the ouch. It gives you a future. And here's a secret the world hides. The world doesn't pay the person who needs money. It pays the person who becomes too skilled to ignore. Let me ask you something simple. Have you ever met someone who keeps saying, one day I'll be successful, but they never learn anything new? It's like watching someone stare at a treadmill and expecting weight loss. Effort is required, my friend. Effort. This is the heart of the learn before you earn principle. Learning is not a chore. Learning is the upgrade that makes everything else easier. Think of your life as a video game. When your character is level 1, even the small enemies beat you. Bills beat you, deadlines beat you, stress beat you, even your alarm clock beats you. But when you learn new skills, suddenly you level up. You turn from, why is life so hard? To, why didn't I learn this earlier? Let me give you a relatable example. There's always that one person who says, I'm waiting for the perfect opportunity. That's like saying, I'll start swimming once I learn how to swim. You have to get into the water first. Opportunities don't come to people who wait. Opportunities come to people who are ready. And readiness comes from learning. Look at any successful person. Before they had money, they had skills. Before they had fans, they had practice. Before they had confidence, they had time spent training alone where no one was clapping for them. Think about someone like Zinaya. Today, she's a global superstar. But she trained for years acting, dancing, performing, understanding cameras, studying scripts. She didn't wake up famous. She prepared for it long before it happened. Skills are the seed. Success is the tree. Most people want shade but don't want to plant anything. Let's talk about something very real. The earlier you learn, the quicker you earn because skills compound. If you learn communication at 20, you benefit for 50 years. If you learn problem solving at 25, you benefit for decades. If you learn decision M young, your whole life becomes smoother. Skills are like interest. The earlier you start, the more they multiply. A lot of people say, I need a good job. No, you need to become a good investment. Jobs don't make you valuable. Skills make you valuable. Let me make this even more practical. Imagine two people joining the same company. One asks, what's my salary? The third asks, what can I learn here? 5 years later, the first one is still begging for a raise. The second one is leading the department. Same job, same environment, different focus. Even in business, people say they want to start something, but they don't want to learn management, marketing, finance, or how to handle people. Then when the business collapses, they say, God didn't want it for me. No, sir, you didn't want to learn for it. Life is not against you. Your lack of skills is against you. Here's the truth. Nobody likes hearing. You cannot shortcut skill building. But once you build the skills, everything else becomes a shortcut. You negotiate better. You make money faster. You take better decisions. You solve problems quicker. You stand out without trying. That's the magic of learning early. And here's something powerful. The skills you learn today don't just help you earn money, they protect you from losing money later. A person with skills is never truly broke because they can rebuild. There's a moment in everyone's life when they realize something. Money can give you comfort, but skills give you control. And control is a different kind of freedom. Let me explain it in a very simple way. Imagine you suddenly lose your job tomorrow. If you don't have skills, you panic. If you do have skills, you get options. Skills turn fear into confidence. Think of it like this. When you rely only on your salary, you're like a phone with only 1% battery. One wrong step and everything shuts down. But when you have skills, you're basically walking around with a power bank that never ends. This is why learning early is not just about earning money, it's about building freedom. Let me give you something extremely relatable. We all know that one friend who makes everything complicated. They get stressed, overthink, panic, and blame life. But then there's another friend who handles everything calmly. Why? Because they build skills. Problem solving is a skill. Emotional control is a skill. Decision is a skill. Communication is a skill. Even thinking clearly is a skill. And when you learn these early, life becomes shockingly easier. Let's talk about something funny but true. A lot of people want to earn like top performers but learn like bottom performers. They want CEO level salaries with I'll learn later effort. They want success with minimum training. It's like WA, intending to drive a Ferrari after practicing on a bicycle. When you invest in skills, two things happen automatically. First, people start trusting you more because you actually know what you're doing. Second, money eventually chases you because you're not replaceable anymore. Replaceable people earn peanuts. Irreplaceable people earn premiums. This is why I always say skills give you confidence long before they give you cash. Let me give you a practical example. Imagine you learn communication today. Next year you speak better. People respect you more. Opportunities open. You get promoted faster. You negotiate better deals. You convince better. You influence better. One skill and your whole life level goes up. Or imagine you learn financial literacy today. Suddenly you stop wasting money. You invest better. You make smarter decisions. That skill alone can save you more money in a year than you earn in months. Skills make life easier in ways money cannot. And here's something I wish more people understood. Money can vanish. Opportunities can vanish. Jobs can vanish. But the person you became, the skills you built, those stay with you forever. And when you grow your skills, life becomes less about survival and more about choosing the life you want. Without skills, you feel trapped. With skills, you feel powerful. That's why learning before earning is not just a principle, it's a strategy for freedom. Most people think success is one big breakthrough, one lucky moment, one viral hit, one magical opportunity. But in reality, success is built on small skills you collect every day quietly when nobody is applauding. Learning doesn't feel exciting at first. It feels slow. It feels boring. It feels like nothing is changing. But one day, you wake up and realize you've outgrown the life you once struggled with because the skills you learned quietly started paying loudly. Let me give you something relatable. Think about the first time you used a computer. You were clicking random buttons, opening folders you didn't recognize, closing windows in panic. But now you do everything smoothly. Why? Because of skill repetition. That's how all skills work. You don't feel the growth daily, but you feel the results eventually. Now, let's talk about how to apply learn before you earn in the real world. Start with one simple question. What skill can I learn today that my future self will thank me for? Not what pays today, not what looks cool today, but what makes you valuable tomorrow. Maybe it's communication, the skill that makes every other skill stronger. Maybe it's understanding people, because every job, every business, every relationship is basically human interaction. Maybe it's digital skills, editing, design, analytics, writing, selling online. Maybe it's emotional control, the ability to stay calm when the world isn't. And here's the best part. You don't need to learn everything. You just need to learn the right few things deeply. Let me give you a funny but true example. There's always that one person who knows a little bit of everything and a whole lot of nothing. They say, I know this, I know that, I know everything. But when it's time to actually do something, they say, wait, let me check. There's the quiet one who actually learned. They don't talk big, they just deliver. The world always pays the second person. So here's what you need to do. Pick one skill, just one. Become so good at it that people say, I need this person. And once you master one skill, combine it with another. That's when earning becomes effortless. Come you. Communication plus sales. Design plus marketing. Creativity plus discipline. Leadership plus empathy. Writing plus persuasion. When skills combine, income explodes. And here's something powerful. People don't become rich because they know many things. They become rich because they know a few things extremely well. Your goal is not to know everything. Your goal is to be valuable. And value comes from learning. Let me end this with a story everyone can relate to. Imagine two people standing at a door called success. One keeps knocking, begging, hoping someone opens. The other doesn't knock. He learns how the lock works and opens the door himself. The world respects the second person. The world rewards the second person because he didn't wait for permission. He prepared for opportunity. That's what learn before you earn truly means. Become someone the world notices. Become someone the world relies on. Become someone the world pays for. Not because you asked for money, but because your skills made you impossible to ignore. Money will follow you. Opportunities will follow you. People will follow you. Success will follow you because you learned first and earned later. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends.